Hello, people who cannot sit at home. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't even know how I can explain to you how much I loved this experience. So I have seen in advertisements on social media information about Little Canada, and I didn't really register, to be completely honest. But then I actually walked past it and I saw the look of it, and I kindly asked the representative if they would be okay with me coming in, checking it out, and doing a video, and they graciously accepted. And what I saw there, and you're about to see, and in my opinion, everybody should go. Like, you should run right now. We had so much fun. It was, I think we spent about 3 hours there. It was like a whole half a day event, and just the amount of detail and nuances that they put in was ridiculous. But don't take my word for it, let me show you. Let's begin. Here we are getting out of the Dundas subway station and heading towards the Dundas Square. So the Little Canada specifically is on the corner of northeast of Dundas and Yonge. So over here we're going in, and it is downstairs. So there is a first level, and then you see the sign, and then you go one more level down. And right away you see the little cutie things. And over here is us going downstairs. There is a code check. It was about $2. I actually do suggest getting the code check because it just frees you up, and you're gonna spend there good 3 hours. That's how long we spend there. And the price for entry right now is about $32. So over here, as you enter, you're greeted with Niagara Falls. And I just want to quickly note that below you will see the sections that we're gonna go through, so you are free to skip. But trust me, you will want to watch the whole video because there are so many cool and humorous nuances. And over there is the main viewing platform. Here's the other side, the American Falls. And here's the Niagara Falls with all of its cool destinations. So the upside down house, the Burger Frankenstein over there, and basically all of the elements of the Niagara are there. You just have to look for it. So for me, as somebody who is a little bit on the OCD side, the positioning was off, and they did it intentionally because you cannot really put all of the best landmarks in the correct way, the way that it is actually geographically, onto this kind of display. So they put some of the main ones in front, which in the beginning for me was so kind of challenging because I was like, oh no, this is not there and this is not there. But it's totally okay. I totally understand why they did it, and in fact, it's the best way to do it. And what I also really loved about everything is that there's tons of trains and cars and people moving, and there are birds moving and singing, and there's also the element of the sound. They're also trying to represent the sounds of Canada. Over here is Niagara on the Lake and their vineyards. Again, all of the detailed, I don't actually know all of these vineyards, but I am sure that they're actually a representation of a specific vineyard that's in the Niagara on the Lake. Over here we're heading towards the Prince of Wales hotel, which is a very iconic hotel in Niagara on the Lake. It is immaculate. The detail on it is insane, and the whole Niagara on the Lake is really detailed because you can see all of the elements, all of the stores. There's even horses. Niagara on the Lake is known for their horses and carriages, and they are moving with people inside. Absolutely amazing. And here's how it looks and how people are over here standing and looking, and over here is me standing and looking. Just right there in the Niagara section, the Niagara on the Lake section, I think we spent, I want to say, almost 40 minutes just exploring everything. So we are now heading, and over there were more information and facts, which are fascinating, and I highly encourage you to do that. We're heading downstairs. So in the May of 2023, there's going to be East Coast opening up. So the idea of Little Canada is that they're going to try to open up one piece of something each year and go from, as I understand, from kind of east towards the west. So right now, all of this video covers is what they have right now, but they're definitely going to expand each year. And over here we're heading into the GTA. So this is Toronto, and then it's gonna go into the Golden Horseshoe. Over here we have the AGO and OCAD. Beautifully done. Very, again, the detail is pretty insane. So the Chinatown is right next to it. Again, it's a little bit different geographically because if you know Chinatown, you know it's in a different area. But nonetheless, here's the red panda on the top of the roof. There's a, I think it's a Chinese parade of some sort. Very cool things were moving. And over here is the building that we're actually in. So I wonder if little me is in that building right now. On the other side, this is a cool way of how they're doing things. There's a mall actually in the building that we are right now on about third floor. I used to go there all the time to have lunch, and there's a movie theater. So everything is in there represented. It is amazing. Over here is the old city hall. The detail and the coloring is ridiculous. So the way that they do it, as I understand, the buildings are 3D printed, but then everything is colored by hand. Over here is the Toronto sign and the city hall. And now we're heading for distillery, and there's a Don River with a number of kayakers and different trains, and there's a subway and the bridge. Amazing. I also really love how some of the buildings have a crosscut, so you see inside of the building, like over here, it's one of the distilleries. Gives it such a cool angle, and you get to see what is inside as well. So there's a GO train, very cool. All the detail again is pretty crazy. And right now, notice everything is going darker and we are experiencing nighttime. So for all of the exhibits, I think the 15 minutes is daytime, and then for 10 minutes it's nighttime. And both of the times are beautiful. I highly encourage you to stick around to see both of the times. So over here is the Royal York Union Station and all of the details that go along with it. And now we're heading towards the downtown, the TD Towers, steam whistle over here. And again, you can see inside the steam whistle, and there were a couple of trains. Notice that this is the Rogers Center, previously called Sky Dome, and it is actually closing. That was so cool. And of course, our star of the city, the CN Tower. Now we're heading slowly away from Toronto, but before we do that, here is a little snippet of Honest Ed's. I love how they had a homage to Honest Ed's. I actually used to go to high school right by it, and I spent 4 years going to Honest Ed's a lot of times. It's a very, very cool place. Over here, there is a little bit of a homage again to Toronto traffic, and there's a moose in the middle of the road, and of course lots of cars. And now we're heading towards the kind of golden horseshoe. This is Hamilton and Dundas Castle, and then the Hamilton Bridge with all of the factories that they have. But the way that it's done is really interesting, and you get to learn about a little bit about Hamilton and how it's structured. Over here is the first Tim Hortons, of course, an important part of Canadian history. There's a ice ring. I don't unfortunately know. I think this is somewhere in Hamilton. Please write it down below what kind of ice ring that was. And we're heading further. Again, I don't know what this waterfall is. I am sure it's also known. Please write it down for me below, because some things I just simply don't know. I loved how over here there's a little, police thing, and there's some kind of a protest happening. There are interesting elements. If you look, you will find so many fascinating elements. Over here, this is Oktoberfest parade. Just the detail of all the people and all the little figurines. Closest to where we just were, closest to the parade, Oktoberfest parade, you get to see the other side, and they show you how the trains turn. So this is sort of like exposure to behind the walls, behind the scenes, and here's the train. Very cool. It's definitely interesting to see what happens behind the scenes. Stratford Swan Parade, a little dedication to that. I actually never seen it. I would love to check it out. And this is the Stratford Theatre, which, if you with patient ears, and actually Shakespearean play was playing in it. Now we're heading towards the Ottawa. This was so interesting because the lady who was working there came up to me and she's like, "You have to stand here and wait for the fireworks to begin." We are still in Ottawa, and over here we're coming closer to the Fairmont Chateau Laurier. From the outside, of course, it's beautiful, but it's the cross section over here that got us. I think we spent 15 minutes looking into all of the rooms. So there are people, there's a couple kissing, there is kids going crazy. There's a Van Gogh room, there's a slide with sprinkles. Here's a scene from a Tom Cruise movie. There was a Kusama room. There was a whole zoo with a tiger. At the bottom over here, there's a wedding. And over here is by far my favorite room. This is a room dedicated to Schitt's Creek characters. And you can even see Moira's wigs. You can spend even more time in there. It was amazing. Going on to the tulip park, because of course Ottawa is very well known for their tulip festival. I am not really sure what this section is, but I loved how there's tentacles and a pirate flag. I thought that was hilarious. And this is the balloon festival that I've actually attended and had so much fun. Just in general, recommend doing it when you have time. It is called Gatineau Hot Air Balloon Festival, and usually it's in August. So as we were exploring, we came over to these two ladies. 39 for this size?
Yes. And then it's 79 for this size. And then 129 for this size.
Nice.
Yeah, but popular for people who want to get placed inside Little Canada.
Right. Oh, so wait, is that what happens? You get to be placed? So this is exactly what happens. They have this station that is called Littleization Station. You go in, and as I understand, they take a bunch of photos of you in 3D, and then they make you, little you, and you also have the option either buying just your figurine, or you can be placed in any of the locations that you would like to be. Quebec section. So what they did is, Quebec is in wintertime, which is amazing because it's so beautiful. You can see over here, this is Quebec City. I'm sure you have seen these photos of the beautiful downtown, old downtown of Quebec City. And of course over here we have the very famous Fairmont Le Chateau Frontenac. And I highly suggest you also stand there and watch for the daytime and nighttime switch, because the colors are, they basically go from like blue to purple. It's a bit different than what it was in Toronto. It's more of a purpley hue. Over there you can see the slide that's right by the Fairmont. I actually done it before, and this was so cool to see that there's like a little miniature slide. And over here you see that purpley, I think this is sunrise. Over here is the Ice Hotel. I've actually been there also a very long time ago, and it's definitely adorable to see it right here in Little Canada. There is more section of the ferry and cute little houses. I'm sure, please write it down below what exact section this is, because this is, I don't know the Quebec area that well. And again, there's like cute little scenes of people fixing the car and trying to get the car up the hill. Over here's a guy playing basketball. And over here's somebody in the snow with only legs sticking out. The humor is definitely there. So over here we're heading to the miniature mission control. This was also very fascinating. There was a gentleman there working.
So all of our cars can technically run on any flat surface, like so.
I see, I see. So they're, do they need to be charged?
Yes. There's a battery, a motor, a microcontroller, and a steering axle.
Oh my.
A small suspension system, and a little magnet. Now that magnet is not strong enough to push or pull these vehicles,
right?
But just strong enough to guide the steering.
Oh,
see how it's moving?
I see, I see, I see. So it's a magnetized thing.
Yeah, so this is just a metal wire.
Right.
It's not a magnet, just a metal wire.
It's a metal wire.
That magnet is attracted to that wire.
So how does it go?
The motor makes the back wheels turn. Yeah.
That's insane.
So they'll just move around.
Whoa!
cute.
Yeah. And actually, there is a logo in the front if you're able to see that.
Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. My camera doesn't want to focus on that close. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So over here was another section. So this is dedicated to the creator. Has been working on this for about 10 years now. Now it's a much bigger team than him. This is about, as I understand, 40 people right now. It's a whole production, and of course they're doing an insanely amazing work. A number of figurines on display so that you get to see them a little bit up close. And there's a miniature maker studio. Now this is another thing I love this. So they show you up close all of the elements. And what's even better, that the ladies in there were so friendly.
We took a regular figure from the model train hobby, a construction worker. We added clay to his head and his hair, and then repainted him to look like a clown.
That's hilarious.
We made other characters like Edward Scissorhands.
Right.
We've made Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, like the heroes.
Put spray glue on them,
Uh-huh.
and we add just like a crushed plastic.
Cool. I see.
For the summertime trees, and then we use other colors for
Right.
autumn.
Fall and yeah. So this is literally by hand.
Yes.
My
Took
God.
11 years, everything you saw today.
So essentially over here they tell you how they do things. And at first I thought, oh, this is easy. They're doing everything by 3D printing. No, 3D printing is used, definitely, but there's so much by hand things that they do, it's ridiculous. Definitely talk to those ladies, they were amazing. And over here, I just want to note that they also have workshops, and they also have the gift shop that you can buy certain elements if you want to do some 3D things at home. So this concludes my overview of Little Canada. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I highly recommend you go here. This is perfect for a date night, for kids, for tourism, or to just explore solo. Please subscribe, like, and share if you enjoy my videos, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, bye.